Hello friends, and welcome to Marie Green Yoga and our series for 30 different sessions of just yoga. And today we have reached number 15 and we are going to get into Supta Virasana or reclined hero's pose, either one or both legs. We'll see by the time we get there how it feels. And today we will do Yin Yoga, and you already know that because that's what it said on the picture on this video. So welcome, and let's take a hand in each and put them on top of our knees or in our lap. And we are going to need one strap and one block for this session. Let's take a comfortable seat, either on a block, on a blanket or pillow, legs crossed or legs folded back. Let's pull the chin down, lengthen through the top of the head and through the seat, tip of the tailbone. And we'll start with our 3 Ujjai breaths by taking our tongue into the roof of the mouth and inhaling for 3 to 5 counts. And exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. One more, inhaling. And exhaling. And coming back to our normal breathing. And staying in that nice, calm, sweet space for the rest of our practice together, where we will go through some hip opening, quad opening for our knees, front and back as well of the legs, and come into our hero's pose. So let's start by laying onto our backs and taking outstretched leg pose with our strap into the right foot. So we can take the block to the side and take our strap and come on down into our supine form. And from here, taking our right foot into the strap and finding a good comfortable stretch for the back of the right leg, and then stretching your left leg out, feeding the hands down so that our upper arms are onto the mat, slightly turned out for comfort for our chest and shoulders. Hands are active by holding on to the strap, but the rest of our body is nice and passive today. Taking a little extra attention to the right side of the strap and kind of flattening the foot up towards the sky, parallel towards the sky. And then we'll drop in for about 20 breaths for our Yin Yoga poses, where the stretches takes us beyond the muscles and into the connective tissue, fascia, all the white-like structure that connects muscles to bones, and covers really every single part of our body. It's like a nice web of support. And by holding our poses for 20 or so breaths, then we get a chance to stretch that connective tissue and letting the muscles be all passive. And we'll drop in. We have the sacrum heavy, shoulder blades are supporting us. Toes are passive, ankles, calves and knees and back and front of our legs are passive. Upper body as relaxed as it can. 3 more breaths here. And slowly switching to the second side, taking our left foot up into the strap and sending our right leg forward, giving a little extra tension to the left side of the strap and paralleling our foot to the sky, and giving our right leg a full long stretch, and especially the back of the left leg, layers between the hamstrings, layers for the knee. Maybe it's on the side, medial side. We can feel it probably all the way down to our ankle. Each and every breath moves the connective tissue, brings it some nice, freshly oxygenated blood, and making its way from the muscle to the bone and vice versa. Opening pathways, upper and lower body, opening little acupressure points for our meridians by holding our stretch for our 3 minutes, our 20 breaths, or longer. Dropping in, heavy upper body, heavy sacrum, even for the hips and the shoulders. Toes, feet are passive. Larger muscles are passive. Another 5 breaths here. And slowly releasing the strap to the side. We are not going to use the strap again, so you can put it to the side somewhere where it's free from your arms and your legs. The block underneath our triangle bony part at the base of the spine, and then we'll stretch our legs all the way forward for our outstretched supported bridge pose, stretching the front of the hips, quads, tendons, hip flexors, and lower belly, and the arms can come up and over the head. You can find your elbows, or you can take your hands next to you by your hips. And then we'll drop in. We make sure the block feels comfortable underneath us. It is lengthening the lower back rather than pushing into the lower back. It's down towards half of the sacrum and the tip of the tailbone. We're checking in that our toes are passive, ankles, knees, hips, upper body, upper arms, underarms, fingers. If we end up holding our muscles or tensing them, then it's like we're taking away the stretching and the lengthening for the connective tissues. Five more breaths here. Noticing a difference in the front of our hips. There should be a nice open feeling, communication, lower belly, quads, opening the pathways for upper and lower body, opening acupressure points deep within the meridians, connective tissues for stomach and spleen, kidney and bladder, and for gallbladder and our liver meridians. They have big junctions through our hips, inner, outer, front, back, medial, lateral. One more breath for that. And release the hands. Take the knees in, bend your knees and put your feet flat. Squeeze your glutes and lift your hips off of the block. And take your sacrum back down to the mat and root your femurs back. Release your lower back by bringing your hands to the base of the hips, femurs, and pushing your thigh bones away, femurs away, to creating a little extra space for that lower back area. And then from here, you can take your knees into the chest, and we're going to either roll to the side or roll our way up and come to our fish pose with also butterfly legs to open up a little bit more to the hips. One block for the upper middle back. Please do take another block for your head if you needed to, or a pillow or something that makes it feel comfortable. Take yourself down onto the block so your shoulder blades are free and clear, your kidneys are free and clear, and the block is in the upper middle back, about thoracic, maybe 8 to 12-ish. Feet can come together, and feet can certainly also be free and clear and straightforward. You can take your arms over the head. You can take your arms to the side. Take where it feels comfortable. Take my arms down today and lifting nice and tall. And then from there, releasing back down. Now the block can be this way, and the block can also be a little higher by taking it onto that second level to hit like a little bit differently into that upper middle back. Shoulder blades are free and clear. Head is on a block or to the mat. And we open up the chest, open up the hips. We open up the breath, the circulatory system. Get a nice rotation for adductors, hip flexors, quads. With each and every breath, our spine gets to open, and perhaps there's some spontaneous adjustments. There's some deep stretching for our spine. Another 5 breaths here to open up for the whole upper body, and a nice big rotation for the lower body, for hips, for femurs, for digestive system, ligaments and tendons around our hips. You can take your hands behind your head and take your knees together and make your way up, and take your hands by the hamstrings and come to a seat. Take the block to the side. We'll use it in a little bit. Next one is child's pose. So some of you are going to stay on your back and take your knees to the chest. Hook your hands, your wrists, and some of you are going to come over forward and take big toes together, knees to the side. Stretch the arms nice and wide forward. Take your forehead to the mat and then relax the elbows out to the side. And then we sink our seat down to our heels. Get some healthy pressure for the knees and ankles, and a nice buoyant uplifting feeling for lower back, whether you are facing down or facing up. And then we melt in each and every breath, taking it deeper and further into the layers of the connective tissues, ligaments and tendons, around the muscles, between the muscles to the bones, all of that. And slowly taking our hands into the shoulders and make your way up onto all fours and arch the spine up to the sky. And from here, come and step your right foot outside of your right hand and come to dragon pose, hands onto the floor. I said we won't use the block until our hero's pose, but if you wanted to use the block, this is a good time to take the blocks for our hands. So that one block or 2 blocks. Lean on forward. You can take your back toes and lift your knee up and hike it back just ever so slightly, and untuck your left toes back down onto the mat and come to our quadriceps stretch, tendons, hip flexors. Head can be heavy. And we stay here. Enjoy opening the whole left side front of the leg, hip, lower belly, adductors. Three more breaths here. It gets a little fiery after a while. We stay with it, opening the areas that we're targeting: quads, hip flexors, adductors. And tuck the toes under and come to reverse dragon pose just for one breath. A counter stretch, and then switch back to tabletop. Arch the spine up to the sky and step your left foot between the on the outside of the left hand, and come on forward for your dragon pose. On to the second side. You can tuck the back toes under, lift your knee, hike it back ever so slightly, and then untuck your toes and flatten it into the back again, into the mat. And then we'll lean on forward, and the left toes are slightly turned out. Dragon pose for the right hip flexor, quad, lower belly, adductors, both sides. And we'll stay here. Dropping into the right side of the hip, distributing the weight evenly. Give ourselves another 5 breaths here. And slowly tuck the toes under in the back and come to reclining dragon pose. 1 breath. And come to tabletop, please. And then we're going to place our block where we had it before into the like upper middle back area, and come all the way down onto our backs. And this time around we're going to take our I'm going to move the block and do the other side so I can show you guys the leg. So here we are sitting, left leg forward, and then the right leg comes to the back. Now this is where you can certainly sit on a block. Today we are doing this version, and I am thinking you're here because you are craving a deeper quad stretch and alignment for the knee. We'll take the block and use it as a nice support for back bend. So from here, take that block where we had it for our fish pose, upper middle back, and then the head can come down to the floor. The arms can come over the head. You can find your elbows, and we can stay here. If this is too much support for some of you, then take the block away and lay all the way down. We drop in, we open up pathways for our ankle, for our knee, for the hip flexor area. Not just our ligaments and tendons, but also the longer meridians that runs through the whole ankle, knee, and hip area. From the bottom of the toes, from the toes and all the way up to the chest, to the neck, to the face. Not to mention the stretching and elongation for our knees. Give ourselves another 5 breaths here. And slowly taking the hands behind the head and lifting yourself up and coming up to a seat, and switch sides. Take the right leg forward, shaking it out, and taking the left leg back, and folding your left toes in next to your hip and taking yourself down onto the block for a reclined hero's pose for your left side of your body and leg and ankle and knee and hip and lower belly. I'm keeping my hands to the side this time around, making sure it feels comfortable for your back. And again, if you don't feel like you want to use the block for a back bend, then take it away and lay yourself all the way down or support yourself with the elbows. We're letting the breath help to move energy through hip, knee, ankle, and toes, both directions, from the toes and up, from the chest and down, the whole area, all the way. Each and every breath, our muscles are allowed to get even more passive, and the stretch can go even further in towards ligaments, connective tissue. And slowly taking our hands behind the head and lifting ourselves up, hands supporting us. And then from here, we can shake our legs out a little bit. And then we're going to come to the double Supta Virasana, or double hero's pose. So we'll take our right leg back, maybe open for the knee a little bit, like give it some space. And then take the left leg back and open for the knee a little bit and give it some space, and then taking our block and supporting ourselves all the way down to our reclining Supta Virasana, arms to the side or arms overhead. Take your favorite pick, and we'll stay here for our 20 breaths, 3 minutes ish, give or take. It's an excellent stretch for ankles, for the knees especially. Helps the ligaments and tendons to get some nutrients, nourishment, and then even blood flow to and from the bones around the knees, from muscle to bone, from bone to muscle. Get to open the lower belly, help our digestive system. And we're dropping in with each and every breath. Maybe we'll get a little bit more passive. Five more breaths here.
And slowly taking our hands behind the head, lifting ourselves up, hands to feet, elbows down, and helping ourselves up. And from here, coming up onto tabletop, we'll come to ragdoll to stretch our knees out. Maybe not stretch them out because we just did stretch them out. We will let the blood come through the knees after having them bent. So yes, we are stretching them out at the same time, but in a different variation. Take the second toe forward, heels back. Take the hands around the elbows and hinge and fold, getting some nice blood flow for the back of the body, from the bottom of the feet, bottom of the heel, Achilles area, calf, back of the knee area, layers through the hamstrings, lower back. The knees are bent slightly so our hips and our ankles can be stacked, and sacrum a little higher than the lower back. So quite the forward bend from being on a back bend block. Five more breaths here. And slowly releasing our hands. We're going to come to straddle pose. It's our next and final pose, taking our legs wide. And maybe we're sitting on a comfortable pillow or blanket. Maybe we put a sweater on if we felt like the temperature dropped. So we have our legs at a nice like 45-50 degree angle, and maybe we'll have a block or two and take our forearms on it and fold forward, or simply taking our forearms onto the mat and then dropping our head down and getting a neck stretch and getting a back of the whole back body gets to be long from our sacrum, tailbone, each and every vertebrae. We also get a nice elongation and full stretching for the medial side of the legs and that medial side of the knee that we had bent pretty strenuous here a little while ago. So here we are into our forward fold, letting adductors release, letting adductors fully stretch out from sit bones all the way down to the parts below our knee. Kidney bladder meridian, liver gallbladder meridian. We'll stay here for about another 15 or so breaths. Nice and heavy, passive toes, ankles, knees are passive, quads. One more nice long breath here. And slowly making your way up, and take your hands underneath your knees, close your legs together, and you can lay down onto your back for Shavasana. And then from there, we will do our closing breaths, our 3 Ujjai breaths, laying down and coming all the way down onto our back. And we get to stretch the knees out to the side, feet are dropping on each side of the mat. Let's take one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Press the head, adjust the shoulder blades, tuck your chin in. And we find our breath, putting our tongue at the roof of our mouth and inhaling for 3 to 5 counts. Holding at the top and exhaling 3 to 5 counts. And inhaling. And exhaling. And inhaling. And last exhale. And gently making your way to natural breath. Hands to the side. And you can stay here as long as you'd like in your Shavasana, or you can come and take a seat and give yourself a few moments of seated meditation if you would like to, or you can sit or lay down right where you are. We'll close our practice together by enjoying being in the nice, clean energy we just created for ourselves. We pull the ears back, whether we're seated or laying, stack our shoulders and hips above and below each other. And you're welcome to stay here as long as you would like in this nice, refreshed, clean, very quiet energy that we created together. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for practicing Yin Yoga with me today. And you can find these 30 videos layered in between 30 of Pilates Fusion. And I look forward to seeing you in either or all of those. Subscribe and share with a friend, any of those, and help to spread the channel and to make us do yoga together all at once. Namaste.